Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Level Up English, the show that helps you level up your language skills by diving into real conversations. I'm your host, Mark Reynolds, and today we're talking about something we've all seen, how people behave online, and how that can be very different from how they behave offline. Have you ever seen someone go on a rant in a comments section or troll another user just for fun? Or maybe cyberbullying disguised as a joke or a meme? Today we're talking about what's behind that kind of behavior and what we can do to manage our own reactions better. Joining me are two amazing guests. First, we've got Priya Singh, a digital communications specialist and consultant who's worked with online platforms and communities for over a decade. Hi, Priya.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me. I've honestly seen people completely blank someone online just because of a disagreement. So I think this is such an important topic.
And with us too is Ben Carter, a secondary school teacher who's spent years working with teenagers and keeping up with all those hashtags, trending memes, and chaotic feeds. Hi, Ben.
Hey guys! I don't know if I'm keeping up or just barely surviving it, but yeah, this is a conversation we need to have.
Let's dive in. Priya, why do you think people behave differently online?
I think the biggest thing is the lack of feedback clues. When we're face to face, we take things like tone and facial expressions into consideration. It helps us judge situations more fairly. But online, there's just this portal between you and the other person. And suddenly it feels like there are no consequences. People forget there's a real human being behind the screen.
Yeah, totally. A student once lashed out on a class stream, attacking someone over homework. Later in person, he was like a different kid. It was as if the online site made him feel invisible. Or invincible.
And sometimes that spirals into cyberbullying, right?
Exactly. Especially when you get caught up in what everyone else in your feed is saying. There's this herd mentality that builds. You don't want to be the one to bite your tongue or say, hey, maybe let's calm down.
I've seen it too in professional circles. People make a scene over email or in a team chat, but face to face, they'd never say a word. It's easier to bottle things up and then explode when you feel safe behind a screen.
Let's pause for a second and talk about the language we're using. You've both already used some brilliant idioms. Bite your tongue, lash out, make a scene. These are all ways we talk about emotional reactions, right?
Exactly. One I like is get under someone's skin. Sometimes one comment, even something as simple as a meme, can really bother you, and it stays with you all day.
Or it drives you up the wall. Like when students leave 15 tabs open and stream videos during an online class, the bandwidth crashes and suddenly everyone's blaming the teacher. That kind of thing really tests your patience.
I bet. And what about letting it out in a healthy way?
I try to let off steam by going for a run or even just getting something off my chest with a friend. Otherwise, I'll just be carrying that frustration into my next meeting.
Same here. And I always tell my students to take a step back before posting a comment. It really helps put things into perspective.
Let's talk about some personal experiences. Have you ever said or posted something online and regretted it?
Oh, yes. I once got involved in a discussion about online safety, and someone trolled me hard. I started writing this long reply, totally angry. But then I thought, wait, this isn't worth it. So I saved it as a draft, closed the navigation tab, and went to cook dinner instead. Best decision I made.
I had the opposite experience. A parent commented on the school's Facebook site and basically blamed the staff for everything. I lashed out, not very professionally, and I regretted it. Later, we spoke in person and they actually put a brave face on things, apologized, and we cleared it up.
That's so interesting. It really shows how online communication needs more thought. Let's give the listeners something practical. How can we manage strong emotions online?
Take things into consideration before you react. Ask yourself, would I say this to someone's face? If not, maybe don't say it at all.
Also, have a thick skin. The internet isn't always kind, and not everything needs a reaction. Learn to scroll past the flames.
Brilliant advice. And lastly, bookmark the good stuff. Follow people who make you feel calm, not angry. All right, that's it for today's episode of Level Up English. Huge thanks to Priya Singh and Ben Carter for being here and sharing their insights. Honestly, this has been one of the most real and relatable conversations we've had.
Thanks, Mark. Always happy to chat, especially when it doesn't involve trolls and flame wars.
Yeah, this has been way more fun than moderating the school stream.
And for everyone listening, remember, behind every feed, there's a real person. Be kind, take a breath, and if something drives you up the wall, maybe just browse away. See you next time on Level Up English.